Hey, what up? It's your boy E.T. Look, super duper excited. That's right, super duper excited. We finally released it. We was playing with TGIM back in the day, doing a little here, a little there. Now it's full blown, baby. TGIM, thank God I'm married. So we got the podcast coming out for you on a regular basis. We've got the conference calls coming out. Look, if you're not in Breeview Marriage, you need to get into it. I'm talking about 27 years of experience, baby. And we're gonna share it with you. And that's right, we're sharing it with you so you can have a life marriage coach, all right? So you don't have to make some of the mistakes, that I made, that CJ made, that Josh made, whatever. We're gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly. We're gonna help your marriage go from good to great. Now, I gotta share this with you. Super duper excited. The new year, we're coming out with the I Do. Now what do I do? The marriage series. That's right. The conference are coming to you, starting off in the West Coast, San Diego. All the information is at the bottom of your screen. And then we're headed, that's right, to Houston and Dallas. So you don't want to miss it. E.T., I've been at Average Skill Phenomenal Will. I've been to Greatness is Upon. Look, this is totally different, guys. So you're sitting there saying, E.T., is this only for married couples? Like, I want to be there. Look, if you ever plan on getting married, this is for you, right? This is preventative measures. Like, don't wait for a divorce. Don't wait for a separation. You feel me? Like, don't wait to go to counseling. You can get this preventative information right now and look, set your marriage up from the start. This marriage conference, I guarantee you, is gonna give you the tools to take your marriage to a whole nother level. So I'll see you in San Diego, okay. I'll see you in Houston, okay. I will see you in Dallas, baby. It's your boy E.T. saying, I do. Now what do I do? What up? It's your boy E.T. Welcome to a special edition of Thank God I'm Married. Now look, I don't do this often, and the reason why I don't do it often is because this is different than TGIM. Thank God it's Monday, all right? Totally different concept. To be successful and thank God it's Monday, all you need is you to do well financially, right? You trying to grow professionally, academically. It's me, myself, and I. But when you start talking about marriage is a different game. It's a different beast. It's not about you. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 principles, but you gotta catch this. Before I give you the 3, you gotta catch it. It's not about me. And marriage is not about you. All right, it's not about your personal happiness, right? It's not about what you want, what you don't want. Listen to me, if you're gonna be successful in marriage, flat out, if you wanna be happy in your marriage, you gotta get over you. Remember what I told you before, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I behaved like a child. But when you get married and you want to be happy, you better grow up. You better mature real quick. It ain't about you. Life's not centered around you anymore. Now look, y'all know I'm just not out here to be out here. Y'all know that's not my MO. That's not my swag. I'm standing at this gazebo for a reason. All right? Because the principles that I have for you today, in order for those principles to work, I need you to get over the bitterness, the anger, all that. My marriage ain't what it used to be. It ain't what I thought it was going to be. And I need you to go back. All right? Because sometimes when you're speaking out of or thinking out of that bitterness or that anger, you can't get to the next level. All right? So what I need you to do is I need you to remember for real, before the bills, before the kids, before the house, before the car, before the responsibilities, before the in-laws, before all the drama. All right, I need to take you back before the drama so we can get past the drama. Do you remember when the 2 of you sat there? You're right there. You stood right there. And you said, for better or for worse, and sickness and in health, to death do us part. Well, this might be this might be for worse right here. When you said for better or for worse, this might be in sickness and in health. This might be sickness right here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I want to take you back before all of that. When you stood here and made the vow, I didn't make it, you made it. When you stood here and made that vow and you said to death do us part, I want you to remember what you said. And I want you to go back to when the two of you looked in each other's eyes and all you saw was happiness. When the two of you looked in each other's eyes and all you saw was a promising future. When you looked in each other's eyes and all you could see was hope. When all you could see is better days, brighter days. I need you to reflect on that, all right? Because right now your marriage may not be what you want it to be. But I want you to go back to before all the responsibilities. Go back, the honeymoon. I want you to go back. Because I believe if you could go back to this time, if we can get back here mentally, then we can get back here physically. So again, it's your boy E.T. saying, remember the gazebo, baby. Remember your wedding day. Remember how beautiful it was. And remember, if it was at that point, at some point in your life, with these principles I'm about to give you, you could get back to that point. All right, so 3 principles. The first one, man, the first one is you got to broaden, listen to me, your worldview. You got to broaden your worldview. And what do I mean by that? My boy called me the other day going through it. Girl apparently got into a car accident, right? Some crazy stuff happened, but she got in a car accident. And she was talking to my man, phone got disconnected. He tried to call her back, he couldn't get her. He finally called her father, and guess what? She was talking to her father on the phone. He pissed, like, E.T., I'm her husband. I cannot believe I'm trying to call her. She avoid my call. This is the kind of stuff I don't like. This is what I hate about my marriage. Like, my girl just don't respect me. And I'm like, bruh, first of all, you got to understand something. You got to be man enough to deal with reality instead of putting it on your girl and saying your girl didn't answer your call and she don't respect you. You got to be man enough to ask the real questions and ask why. Why didn't your girl? Listen to me, I'm a father. And the one thing I know, I told my boy, I'm a father. I got a girl. If my daughter get into a car accident, the difference between me and when my daughter get married is her husband's going to be worried about the car, worried about insurance, worried about their bank account, worried about stuff. All I'm going to be worried about is my baby girl. Is she okay? I don't care nothing about your car. I can buy you another car. I don't care nothing about your insurance. We can give you a couple more dollars for your insurance. Hear what I'm saying? I try to explain to my boy that the reason why your girl didn't want to talk to you because she already knew you was going to go off. She's human. She knew you was going to go off. She knew you was going to have an attitude. She knew you was just going to flip off at the mouth, pissed off. But she knew her daddy, hear what I'm saying? She knew her father was going to give her a whole different type of approach. Are you hearing what I'm saying? She knew her father didn't care nothing about the car. He didn't care nothing about insurance. He didn't care. He wanted to know if his baby was all right, and sincerely. You got to broaden your view. And most of us don't do well in marriage because we always looking at it from our perspective. Bottom line. You're dealing with another grown person. You're dealing with another human that needs to know that you care about them. And so you can't always look at it from your vantage point. And that's how I had to grow up. That's how your boy E.T. had to grow up, bro. You hear what I'm saying? I had to grow up and I had to stop looking at everything from my own personal perspective. All right? And I had to start looking at what makes my girl happy. What's important to her? Like, what's her dreams? What's her goals? Now, I told you, your boy E.T. a few years ago, I put my wife in a situation where she didn't have to work. But guess what? She wasn't happy. That was my viewpoint. Like, I wanted my girl to be at the crib when I got home. I wanted my girl to work with me and do things with me. That was my vantage point. But those were 2 miserable years in her life. Why? Because my girl loved to work. Flat out, man, she was deteriorating, right? She wasn't the happy. She's a nurse, a registered nurse. She loves doing what she does. All I was looking at is, I don't like working in a 9 to 5. I don't like going to the same place every single day, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. But my girl loves that, and I made an error. I was looking at her life from my lenses. And you got to get to a point where you broaden your lens. Are you hearing me? If your marriage is going to be successful, you got to stop looking at everything from your own point of view. And you got to get in, if you want your marriage to be successful, you're going to have to get in her shoes. You're going to have to get in his shoes. You're going to have to look at your marriage from a totally different perspective. Number 2, listen to me. I just recently did a marriage ceremony and I had a ruler out there. And I brought the ruler out and said, you got to measure up to your spouse, right? But I got a ruler that wasn't wood. I got a rubber ruler. Why? Because I told them if you're gonna have a successful marriage, you gotta learn to bend. Are you hearing me? And too many of y'all, you like, hey, you in a fight, you in an argument, you trying to win. At the end of the day, if you win and your wife and you are not on one accord, what did you win? Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? You got off feeling good. I told her off. Well, I told him off. I gave him a piece of my mind. Well, I gave her a piece of my mind. What did you win? If your wife and you are not on one accord, what did you win? She went to her room, you went to your space, or you went to the room and she slept outside, or she went to her parents, or you went to your boys. Who wins? So you got to learn how to bend. Now you got to hear E.T. because this is deep and you're going to read about it in the book. In my marriage, early in the game, I had to learn. Now I ain't going to tell you exact because I don't want to mess the book up for you. But if you read the book, you're going to have to see where E.T. we had to make some serious decisions in our relationship about our family, about profession, about where we were going to live. And E.T. had to bend. All right? E.T. had to bend. So what do I mean by that? Sundays, man, that's my day. Sunday, all I want to do is watch the Lions, right? Whatever game come on after that. I want to get up early, eat, right? Catch ESPN. Then I want to catch, the NFC showdown talking about the Lions and people in their division. That's my whole life. I want to catch all the games, the evening game. That's my life. Sunday, that's me. Well, my girl wants Sunday to be family day, so your boy E.T. had to learn to bend. Listen to me. I love the Detroit Lions, but I ain't married to none of them, all right? At the end of the day, I ain't married to none of them, but I'm married to my wife. So there are days where I find myself going back and forth from the Lion game, right, to Lifetime. Now, don't put your boy E.T. out like that. You heard what I said. There are times I have to sacrifice the Lion game because my girl ain't into sports. And so she not out there watching the game with me. And I'd rather be with my wife watching Lifetime, than I would watch the Lions make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was a commercial break. You heard what I said. But it's about bending. And so you got to learn to bend. Are you with me? Now, my wife got to learn to bend because I'm a community guy. I'm traveling all over the world. And my wife does not like when I leave to do Thank God It's Monday. She don't like when I travel across the country, spending a couple days away from home. But my wife understands that I have a gift, and this is what makes me happy. So even though my wife is family oriented, right? My wife, she when I worked at Michigan State, she loved it. Even though I didn't like going to the same place every day, all day. I wanted a different scene, being in a place with no windows, a little box room. My wife loves that because it's security. But my wife knows that I don't like it, and so my wife bends and says, even though I like the security of you at Michigan State, even though you make more money traveling across the world, I don't like when you're not at home because I want to be with you. But my wife has to bend. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Number two, if you're going to have a successful marriage, all right, you got to learn to bend. And I hate to say this, but the earlier you're married and you bend, the better off. Because sometimes when you turn into a tree, trees don't bend. You got to break them. And so I need you to do me a favor. Number two, I need you to bend. Why? Because you need to be on one accord. Now, you heard what I said. This is deep, right? When I talk about bending, this is critical. All right. I don't know if you, and being on one accord, this is critical. I don't know if you've ever done, you gone to Vegas, you gone to the casinos, but watch this. You have never seen the jackpot when it's one cherry and it's an orange and then it's a grape. All three of them got to line up. Cherry, cherry, cherry. And when you hit that 7 and it's 777, that's the jackpot. And you got to learn there's nothing as important as being on one accord with your wife. There's nothing as important as being on one accord with your husband. When you guys are on one accord, it's a jackpot. When he's going one place and she's going another place, when you got one dream and one goal and she got something totally different and there's discord in the home, you're never going to be successful. But when you hit the jackpot in my home, when me, my wife, and God are all on one accord, everything positive begins to happen for us. Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right, so I want to give you some tips, all right? This is a tip in your marriage. Your marriage is like a fine car. Are you hearing me? I look at my marriage like a fine car. You got to go get the oil changed. You got to get a tune-up. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You got to get those tires rotated. You got to keep a certain amount of air in there. There's certain things you need to do. It's called maintenance. Certain things you need to do, and then every now and then, you just take it to a whole other level and get that sucker waxed. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying in your marriage, if you want to come home and have a happy home, because there's nothing. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care what kind of car you're driving. I don't care what kind of neighborhood you live in. There's nothing like being in a happy home. There's nothing like marital bliss. And the other is true. There's nothing like a marriage that's like made in hell. Nothing like it when two people who love each other are not on one accord. So I need some maintenance, all right? I'm going to give you some tips, baby. Marriage is like a fine car. So this year, I know I had to do the big thing, right? What was the big thing? Dominican Republic. I took my wife a whole week to the Dominican Republic. Listen to me. We had the butler boy. Are you feeling what I'm saying? We had the everything exclusive, everything paid for, all inclusive, everything paid for. We flew first class by the grace of God. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That was the big one. Then we did a marriage. After 21 years, I gave her a marriage. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's the big stuff. But on a regular basis, at the job, she getting flowers. On a regular basis, we got a Sunday is our day. Maintenance. Are you hearing me? Do some maintenance. When was the last time you sent some flowers? I need you to just start doing some maintenance, taking your girl out. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Don't get so caught up on work. Don't get so caught up on life. There's some things you need to do on a regular basis. Like, I love you. Like, say, I love you on a regular basis. Are you hearing me? I love you. You're beautiful. Listen to me. You better tell her before somebody else tell her. You better tell him before somebody else tell him. You better not take him or her for granted. You better maintenance that vehicle because that's a fine car. And guess what? You ain't the only one that wants it. And so you better get the oil change. I love you. Send gifts on a regular basis. You listen to me. You better protect your investment. All right, so once again, it's your boy E.T. saying, listen to me, it ain't about you. Marriage is not about you. This ain't Thank God It's Monday. And you're saying this ain't just for married folk. Again, if you are engaged or you thinking about getting married, I want you to understand at a young point in the game, it's not about you. Number two, broaden your worldview. Broaden it. Broaden your thinking. Stop looking at it from your own personal lens and start looking at it from your spouse's point of view. Walk in their shoes a few miles so you can see what it's like to be them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And then you got to be willing to bend. You got to be willing to bend. I'm not telling you to break. I'm not telling you to take your life savings and spend it on no cruise. I'm not saying do nothing stupid. But I am saying in those areas where you can bend for the sake of your marriage. Because if you guys are on one accord and you coming home to a happy home, it just makes everything else about life greater. It makes everything else richer. It makes everything else brighter. It makes everything else better. All right, so it's your boy E.T. saying, listen to me, it ain't over. I know you like, man, E, I can't do this no more. I know, I feel you. You like, E, man, I can't do this marriage thing no more. Listen to your boy E.T. You can do it. All right, you can do it, but you need to take responsibility. Your marriage ain't where it is today just by osmosis. There's some things you did or you did not do to get it to where it is. And if you help mess it up, then you can help fix it, all right? If you help mess it up, then you can help fix it. So there's hope, all right? 6 months from now, a year from now, man, your marriage can be great. So it's your boy E.T., man. It's your boy E.T. All right, saying the safest thing to do is not to leave your spouse. The safest thing to do is to work it out and to make it work. Man, it's your boy E.T. I love you.